What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Chasse. I felt compelled to make this video today because the markets are looking a little shaky, I'm not gonna lie. But there's a lot of reasons why you should be extremely bullish. Today, we're gonna talk about some major market news and updates that are going on that will affect you and the market dramatically. Yeah, the fear and greed index is a little bit shaky, but remember to be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. Today, we're gonna talk about President Trump and the fact that he is holding a lot of Ethereum, a US president that historically has been anti-crypto, anti-Bitcoin, is holding about, what is it, $2.8 million worth of ETH in his wallet. Now, we know that this came from his NFT sales. Yep, if you didn't know it, Trump actually sold NFTs last year, and I heard somewhere that he's actually going to do a series 2 or another round of NFT sales. It went well for him the first time. Why wouldn't he do it again? So you can see kind of his stance is changing, even though he hasn't publicly come out and say that he wants to support Bitcoin and Ethereum like other presidential candidates have, and we'll get into that in a second. He does seem to be taking a different tone. And in fact, in a bit, we're going to talk about the fact that I believe probably in 2024, you can't win the presidential election if you're not pro-Bitcoin, right? And we're going to get into this, how all the other US candidates are pro-Bitcoin and pro-cryptocurrency, at least the ones that are getting a lot of attention. And there's a lot of other international leaders that are also pro-Bitcoin as well. So 2 major presidential candidates we already know, and I went over this before. So if you guys want to click the link down in the description below, I made a video on the different presidential candidates and their position on crypto. But we know that Ron DeSantis, Francis Suarez, as well as RFK, all are bullish around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. Now, we also have news coming out of Argentina, El Salvador. And I love, if you guys are not following Nayib Bukele, whatever his name is, I suggest that you do. I love this guy as a president. Now, he's controversial, of course, but he has been pro-Bitcoin. If you didn't know already, been living under a rock, the country adopted Bitcoin. They're doing Bitcoin mining using the power of a volcano. And, he comes out here and says, I really, really want to say I told you so. You can see CZ comes back here and says, you told them as well. Not only that, but we have the libertarian candidate who won the primary presidential election in Argentina proposes to destroy the central bank. Now, he would like to bump it or set it on fire. So he's very, very pro-Bitcoin. Now I'm going to show you this hilarious video here of him smashing a piñata of the central bank. So you can see this is a central bank. Here we go. I would love to do this. And it's not the only thing I'd love to smash, but central banks is one of them. This is the guy who just won the presidential seat in Argentina. Amazing. Okay, so if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, I suggest that you do that. I always drop really, really hot, relevant news on a daily basis. You can pretty much just follow me on Twitter and find out everything that you need to know about the market, at least the major things that are happening. I cover pretty much everything on there. So what I said before, and this is where I want this to lead to, is even though the markets are down pretty significantly today, and even though we're now starting to get people talk about Elliott wave and these kind of things, seeing that potentially we're gonna have a big retracement of Bitcoin, but we'll get into why that may or may not happen and what you need to do to prepare in case that does happen. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're not already, make sure you like the video if you find value. But I've talked before. I made a video, in fact, it was like 3 or 4 videos ago where I said I was going all in. And I am all in on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But I also told you in that video how I plan to gain more exposure to Bitcoin and other crypto if there is a major market correction. So I'm prepared either way, right? The market could skyrocket and the BlackRock ETF could get approved. And we'll talk about what some experts think the price of Bitcoin will be as soon as that happens. And I'm stoked if that happens, and I'm going to increase my exposure in the same way, which is using something like Aave. And if you want to watch that video, I'll link it in the description below. I tell you exactly how I do that. And well, not in depth, right? So if you want me to make a video about how I'm leveraging, not on like a futures exchange, like Bybit or something, but the same way that Michael Saylor does it, you can actually do it too. I've been doing this for years and years and years. I used to use centralized platforms like Celsius and Nexo and stuff, not Celsius, but Nexo. But now I use Aave because I trust code, not people, right? Think about it. But here on my tweet, I say, if you're not bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, but Trump has $2.8 million in ETH. Larry Fink thinks that Bitcoin will revolutionize the financial system. Robert Kennedy Jr., which is my favorite candidate. I like Vivek as well, but Robert, I just think is so honest, integrity, and he's extremely experienced. He comes from a family of amazing human beings, I believe. SEC has tried to kill crypto, but we're still here. PayPal jumped into the crypto majorly with PYUSD stablecoin. That may or may not be a good thing, but nonetheless, it shows more major companies getting into crypto. Multi-billion-dollar institutions have applied for Bitcoin spot ETFs. Coinbase granted approval to offer crypto futures in the US. If you're not bullish, you're just blind. Hopefully you're watching this channel, and hopefully you're following me on Twitter. I mean, X. So this is going in again to the narrative of 2024 and why I'm incredibly bullish and think that you should be too as well. On a related note, if you think about all the catalysts for new money to flow into crypto, most start with BTC. We've got the BTC halving coming up, which I'll show you this right here. 213 days, estimated to be the 18th of March, 2024. We should see this historically, regardless of a Bitcoin ETF, the bull run will happen. It's programmed in to Bitcoin's code, right? The supply shock is inevitable. The amount of Bitcoin emissions will reduce by 50% starting in this halving. It's a very, very bullish signal. Pro BTC presidential candidates. A lot of people are talking about the fact that you must be pro Bitcoin if you want to win the presidential election, which is amazing. We've never seen this. I've been waiting my entire crypto career, which started in 2012, to see the day when Bitcoin is discussed on the presidential campaign stage. And then we also have macro inflection, right? We've got a lot of things happening with macro. We've got inflation easing, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. Let's go into this is mind-blowing, right? Well, I mean, not really. It's pretty obvious. I believe that Bitcoin is severely undervalued right now, but you can see on Michael Saylor's Twitter or X account by Tom Lee from Fundstrat, what he says is if the spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved, the clearing price of BTC is above $150,000 basically instantly, right? So if this happens, Tom Lee from Fundstrat thinks that Bitcoin will skyrocket to $150,000. And that's just the beginning of it, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine the FOMO from retail and everyone else once Bitcoin starts to skyrocket up. It's going to be absolutely insane. Now, another reason to be bullish is something that I talk about all the time, right? So the closer that we get to November, and certainly 2024, the less likely we are to have a major macro market correction. Now, it's still possible that we have a black swan. Now, if you look at the S&P from the beginning of the year, it's been pretty much up only, right? This is a very, very, very bullish chart in stock markets. But a lot of people, including what's the guy from The Big Short, Burry, they're putting big, big bets on shorting the market. But you cannot run for presidency if your economy is in the toilet, right? You just can't. Like, imagine that a black swan happens, the markets crash, everyone goes to hell, and then Biden wants to try to get reelected. It's not going to happen. So one of the things that could also ignite a bull run is simply a black swan event, right? Just like what happened with COVID. We saw the COVID black swan event happen, everything tanked like crazy, and the Fed flipped on the money printer and boom, see ya, bull run. It was amazing, right? The same thing would happen again here because you cannot go into a presidential election year without a bullish market. And you can see that here, 19 of the 23 years, 83% provided positive performance. So I've been saying this a long time. Now let's get into transition into the Shibarium news. Now this was and an absolute train wreck, right? And it plunged 9% since the launch. Now, this definitely was a buy the news, sell the event type of situation. But let's get into exactly what happened here. So again, on my Twitter, you can go and Shibarium just nuked 2 hours after launch. Bye-bye, $1.7 million. They say it's always darkest before the dawn, but Shibarium, it got pitch black just 2 hours into the new day. So what happened here? Well, they had a horrible launch. The bridge got stuck and they've got $1.73 million now just chilling untouchable on the bridge, and they don't know if they can get it out. Conclusion, someone's getting fired. Ship was blown, holders probably going to try to spin it into something positive, but damn, this is horrific. Maybe memes are better left being memes. You know, I have come to realize that memes actually do have value in the space, right? It just, people have proven that they love memes. There's a project, I forget what it's called, it's Meme something, that just raised like $23 million in this terrible market. One of the funds that I'm aware of, they're investing, I think, Meme World or something like this, like super excited about it. So memes do have value, and the market has proven that, right? Some people might say meme coins are shit, but the fact of the matter is that we've proven like that some of the biggest market caps in the world are SHIB and Doge, right? And Elon loves Doge, and SHIB is actually building real products. So this pullback is interesting, and this is kind of what I want to come into in the bigger picture here. I want to just kind of finish up with this, is if what I've said today doesn't convince you that 2024 is going to be a massive year, I don't know what else you need to be convinced. But pay attention to the market, pay very, very close attention, and do your own research and see what's going on, because these could be incredible opportunities to get in. Of course, in my opinion, you should be dollar cost averaging into the market. You know, however you want to do your strategy. If you've got $400 a month to invest into the market, you know, put $100 every Saturday or whatever day it is at the same time, regardless of the price, no matter what, right? That just systematically helps you get into the market at the best possible average price, and it removes emotional things about buying dips. But you know, between now and November, I expect some big volatility, or it could just be sideways moving like it has been, like a stable coin. But there could be some amazing opportunities. You know, SHIB has an amazingly viral community. This little setback just gave a good buying opportunity to get in more if you want to. But that's how the whole market is going to look going forward. So on this channel, guys, I'm going to be covering the hottest projects, some hidden macro gems, all the latest trends. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.